IELTS listening activities. 1. Accommodation. Listening activity number 1. Renting a flat. You are going to hear a conversation about renting a flat. Listen to the recording and fill in the form below.
645-2536.
May I speak to the owner, please?
Speaking.
Good morning. I've just seen the advertisement in today's paper about the furnished flat to rent. Is it still available?
Yes, it is. Would you like to know something about it?
Yes. But could you tell me the address first, please?
Oh, right. Okay. Flat 34, 16 Church Road, Richmond.
Thank you. How big is the flat?
Oh, it's a 2-bedroom flat and big enough for 3 or 4 people.
Thanks. What about the heating and cooking? What are the arrangements?
It's all by gas, the central heating and cooking.
Right. And how much is the rent, please?
It's $350 a month, excluding the cost of the gas.
I see. When will it be available?
The flat will be available from the beginning of April.
Thank you very much.
Are you interested in it? You know, someone asked about it already.
Well, I will think about it and let you know as soon as possible.
All right. Thank you for calling and hope to hear from you soon.
Listening activity number 2. Looking for a house. You are going to hear a conversation between a student and an agent. Listen to the recording and fill in the form below.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm looking for a place to rent near the university.
What kind of accommodation are you looking for? A room, a flat, or a house?
Well, a house if it's possible. There are 4 of us looking all together. We thought we might share if we could find something suitable.
So, something near the university?
Yes, if that's at all possible. We're all students, so it'd be good if we could find a furnished house within walking distance of the campus.
Well, let me have a look and see what we've got. Well, there is a 3-bedroom house available close to your university.
Where is it?
It's at 27 Victory Road. It's about 10 minutes to walk to the university.
It's very good. Is anyone living there at the moment?
Yes, but the family is moving to London next month.
I see. And does it have any furniture in that house?
Yes, the family will leave all furniture there, so it's a fully furnished house.
Sounds good. What are the heating and cooking arrangements?
Well, there are electric heaters in all the rooms, and cooking is by electricity as well.
Thank you. How much is the rent?
It's $500 a month. The electricity is extra and is on a meter.
I see. It's a reasonable price, and I think I will take it. Please write me down. By the way, if I rent the house, when would I be able to move in?
It'll be vacant from 1st June, so anytime after that.
Thank you very much.
Listening activity number 3. Looking for accommodation. You will hear a conversation between Mrs. White and an agent. Listen to the recording and complete the table below.
Good morning. May I help you?
Yes, my name is Mary White. I'm looking for a place to rent near the university. You see, my son is going to this university next summer, so we are looking for a place.
I see. What kind of accommodation are you looking for? A 1-bedroom flat or a 2-bedroom flat, Mrs. White?
It doesn't matter. I'd like a place near the university.
Okay, so let me have a look and see what we have got. Well, there is a 2-bedroom flat near the university. It has 2 large bedrooms and 1 large sitting room. The owner asks for £800 a week.
Oh, that's too expensive.
What about this? A 2-bedroom and 2-bath house with a small garden, close to the university. It's £700 a week.
It sounds good, but it's too big for my son. Got anything else?
All right, well, here's something that might interest you. It's a 1-bedroom furnished flat in Newport.
That's a bit far from university.
Yes, it's quite far, but it's close to the tube station, and it's reasonably priced at £350. Why don't you go and have a look?
Oh, all right, I will. Can I have the address?
Right. Well, it's at 2348 Church Road, Newport.
Is anyone living there at the moment?
Yes, Miss Harper, a doctor, is living there, but she is moving out next Monday. You can phone her first, then go there and have a look. Here is her telephone number, 521-6739.
521-6739. Thanks a lot.
Listening activity number 4. London Discount Hotel. You are going to hear a talk about London Discount Hotel. Listen to the talk and complete the statement below, and then answer the questions.
LondonDiscountHotel.com is a London hotels reservation agency. We offer more than 200 central London hotels and apartments, ranging from 5-star luxury hotels to 1- and 2-star or budget hotels. LondonDiscountHotel.com is an established hotel booking agency based in central London, owned and operated by Londoners. Our philosophy is simple: to give you the best available service in assisting you to find the best quality hotel deal at the best possible price in our wonderful city. At LondonDiscountHotel.com, we aim to make it easy for you to find and book from our wide range of hotels in London. We have more than 240 hotels in London. We offer various accommodations throughout central London, ranging from low-cost, privately owned guest houses to 5-star global chains. Most of the hotels are located close to major London attractions like the Covent Garden Theatres, Royal Albert Hall, Madame Tussauds, Tower of London, Regent's Park and Hyde Park. Many of our properties are also ideally situated near Oxford Street, Harrods, Knightsbridge and Kensington High Street for excellent shopping. Our rates are much below published rack rates and include local taxes, service and continental breakfast, so the price you see is the price you pay. There are no additional fees or charges. You can check prices and availability at your leisure and book securely at the click of your mouse. We also have a wide selection of London theatre and dinner packages and London sightseeing packages available to complement your stay. And if one of the particular packages we've put together for your stay in London doesn't suit, we also offer the facility to create your own custom package. At LondonDiscountHotel.com, we also organise hotel bookings throughout England, Scotland and Wales. For groups of 10 or more, we can offer even further savings on accommodation services, coach hire, airport transfers, sightseeing tours and extended coaching tours throughout Great Britain and theatre tickets. Check our group service now online.
Listening activity number 5. Houses in England. You are going to hear a talk about the houses in England. Listen to the talk and circle the correct letter. Today I'd like to talk about the houses in England. English people traditionally like to live in small houses, not apartments. Most houses in England are made of stone or red brick from the local area. I'd like to start with the types of houses in England. England has many types of homes. In large cities, people often live in apartments which are called flats. Houses built before 1910 were very often arranged in long rows, with no gap between the houses. These houses, joined together in long rows, are called terraced houses. You can see them in most towns. Another type of house is a house not joined to another house, which is called a detached house. Semi-detached houses are two houses joined together. According to the census of 2001, the most popular type of home in England is semi-detached, more than 27% of all homes, closely followed by detached, then terraced. Almost half of London's households are flats or apartments. Now, more people are buying their own homes than in the past. About 2/3 of the people in England either own or are in the process of buying their own home. Most others live in houses or flats that they rent from a private landlord, the local council, or a housing association. People buying their property almost always pay for it with a special loan called a mortgage, which they must repay with interest over a long period of time, usually 25 years. What is the cost of houses? That's a good question. A big problem in England is the rising cost of houses. In 1989, first-time buyers paid an average of around £40,000, but by 2001, this had more than doubled to £85,000. In 2003, the average wage per year was £20,000. The average house price was over £120,000. In 2007, the average wage per year was £23,244, and the average house price was £184,924. The cost of housing in England has increased much faster than people's wages, making it impossible for first-time buyers to get on the housing ladder unless they are in especially well-paid jobs, are able to call upon rich relatives, or are prepared to buy the house jointly with friends. Listening activity number 6. Why are they empty? You are going to hear a conversation about empty properties in the UK. Listen to the conversation and complete the statements below.
Hi, Tina. Do you know how many empty homes there are in the UK?
No, how many?
The Empty Homes Agency estimates that there are 840,000 empty homes in the UK. National Land Use Database figures indicate that a further 420,000 homes could be established in disused commercial properties in England, including former pubs and space above shops. This adds up to more than 1 million additional homes.
Wow, that's a lot. Why are so many properties left empty?
The Empty Homes Agency points to two main causes. Many homes remain empty because they are in a very poor condition, perhaps needing a new roof, and the owner is unable or unwilling to spend the money to put things right. Another factor is speculation, where a buyer has bought a property for its investment potential but does not wish to find tenants.
Well, I don't like the type of people who buy a house and then leave it empty, so pushing the price of houses up. You know, many people need a house but can't find a cheap one. Do you think that an empty property will attract crime?
Yes, this is a big problem. Once a little thing goes wrong, such as a broken window, crime and vandalism will occur. Arson is a major problem. The London Fire Brigade estimates that 1 in every 4 fires they attended last year were in empty homes.
So, an empty home is an asset at risk. Are there any empty homes in our street?
No, I don't see any in our street. Don't worry about it. If there is an empty home in the street, we can inform the local council, which has the power to place an empty dwelling management order.
I see. Does an empty property bring down neighboring house prices?
Yes, of course. Sellers have complained about this. A HomeTrack study in 2003 reported that, on average, a property next to an empty house sells for 18% less than one that is occupied.
I think the local authorities and the government should do something and bring empty homes into use.
I agree with you.
Listening activity number 7. Looking for a homestay family. You are going to hear a conversation between two friends. Listen to the recording and complete the statements and then answer the questions.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. I've heard that you want to move into a homestay family. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I've been staying with my uncle's family, and now my cousin is arriving from America, and they need a room for her.
Oh, that's bad luck. Well, what kind of accommodation would you like? Would you like to live with a family, or do you think that a single person would be better for you?
Do you have any retired couples?
Yes, I have quite a few whose children have grown up and left home. In fact, I have some really lovely retired couples living not far from your university. They love the company of students. Most of them live in flats. But that's not a problem for you, is it?
Not at all. I'm used to that. My uncle lives in a flat too.
Okay, fine. Would you like pets at home? You know, many retired couples have pets at home.
Oh, yes. I love pets very much. My uncle has a big dog at home. I always take it for a walk after school.
Okay, that's very good. Here is a very nice couple, Mr. and Mrs. Williams. Their address is Flat 2, 39 Forest Drive, West Ealing.
Flat 2, 39 Forest Drive, West Ealing. Good. It is not far from my uncle's home.
I should let you know that your rent will be £150 per week. You have to pay me 1 month's rent as a deposit before you move in. The deposit is as insurance in case you break something.
I see. By the way, what does the rent include?
It includes a single room, of course, breakfast, and evening meals. You don't need to pay for gas, electricity, or water, but you need to pay your proportion of the phone bill. Most families do that on an honor system, but you'll have to wait and see.
Okay. I think it's a reasonable price.
When would you like to move in?
As soon as possible. My cousin is coming next Friday.
Today is June 3rd. I'll work on it now, so come and see me at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I will take you to meet the couple. Is that okay for you?
Fine. 10 tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot.
Goodbye. See you tomorrow.
See you then. Bye.
Listening activity number 8. Advice from the accommodation officer. You are going to hear a talk from the accommodation officer. Now, listen to the talk and complete the statements, and then indicate whether the statements are true or false.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jack Lee from the Accommodation Office. I know many of you live off our campus, so you may have some financial problems. For instance, you may find that you can't pay your rent or your electricity bills. This is quite a common problem students often meet. We are used to dealing with the problems. If you have any financial problems which you would like to discuss, you can contact the Students' Union Welfare Officer. Don't hide until the bailiffs come round or the electricity is cut off. Here is something you could do. First, you can contact your creditors as soon as the bill arrives or before, if you know in advance that you won't be able to pay, and explain that you are in financial difficulties. Second, you should give a reasonable explanation of why you cannot pay. Being a student on a low income is a good reason for being in financial difficulties. Then you should try to give some idea of when you will be able to pay. For example, you could pay as soon as your next grant check arrives in 2 weeks' time, or if you get a job, etc. And next, you could offer to pay in installments, that is, paying a certain amount of money each week. Finally, if your creditor agrees to a delay in payment or payment by installments, write him or her a letter setting out the agreement as you understand it. Remember to account for any standing order or direct debit you may have arranged. Check your bank statement when you receive it. Check which check numbers do not appear on your statement. See how much checks were made out for. The end total should tally with your own running balance. Remember, if you pay in some money to your account from another branch, it takes approximately 3 days to reach your account. There are some good suggestions to remember. If you put sufficient money for your rent and food into the bank at the start of the term, you will actually gain a little interest, and you will ensure that you have enough for the whole term. You could divide your term grant or allowance by the number of weeks it will have to last. Remember that the Christmas and Easter holidays are covered by your grant, so they must be included in your calculations. I hope everyone will be happy in studying here. Thank you.
Listening activity number 9. How to pay an electricity bill. You are going to hear a conversation about how to pay a bill between a member of staff from London Electricity Board and a tenant. Listen to the recording and complete the statements, and then indicate whether the statements are true or false.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Good morning. I came to ask for some information about the electricity bill. You see, I moved into the flat a week ago.
Yes, I'd like to help.
How often will I receive a bill?
Well, you will receive a bill every 3 months. It will be based on either a reading taken by our meter reader or an estimated reading.
I see. What should I do if I think my bill is wrong?
As soon as you receive your bill, tell us why you think it is wrong. We will discuss it with you. It will help if you read your own meter before contacting us.
Where can I pay my bill?
You should pay your bill as soon as you get it. You can do this by cash, check at any of our offices, or by posting it directly to us. You can also pay at a bank or post office. Remember, there may be a charge for this service, and also you will need to allow more time for your payment to reach us.
Do you offer any easy payment schemes?
Yes, we do. We recommend you join our direct debit payment scheme because it is probably the easiest way to pay your bills. We also offer easy payment by standing order, which means the fee will come out of your bank account automatically.
What happens if I can't pay my bill?
If you can't pay your bill, you must tell us as soon as it arrives. We are here to help you, and we understand that sometimes customers can be in temporary difficulties, or there are special circumstances that make paying the bill a problem. We will be able to help, maybe by letting you pay your bill by installments or some other arrangement. But please remember, if you have a payment problem, it will help you to tell us quickly. If you do not, we will disconnect your supply.
Would you tell me what a coin meter is?
Okay, using a coin meter allows you to pay for your electricity whenever you want. You simply put some coins into the machine, and you can receive an electricity supply. Please remember that a coin meter may have some problems, becoming full up and jammed.
I see. Well, thank you very much for your help and your time. Goodbye.
Goodbye and have a nice day.
Listening activity number 10. Electricity supply. You are going to hear a conversation about electricity supply between a member of staff from the London Electricity Board and a customer. Listen to the recording and complete the statements, and then indicate whether the statements are true or false.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'm going to move into a house nearby. I came to ask about the electricity supply.
Okay. Before you move, you must give us a notice as early as possible to make sure you have electricity connected when you arrive. If you give us less than 2 working days notice, we may not be able to give you a supply on the date you need it. Please fill in all the questions carefully on the application form here.
All right. Now, here you are.
Thanks. So you will move into Grove House at 18 High Street.
That's right.
When are you going to move in?
I think it will be in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. We will be able to give you a supply on the date you need it.
Thanks. By the way, what should I do if I move out?
Well, if you are already a customer of London Electricity, you will also need to arrange for a final reading of the meter so that we can close that account and send the bill to your new home. Don't forget to do this. If you do, you will have to pay for the electricity used in your old home until we are able to get in to take a reading. Like any business that sells on credit, it is important that we know who our customers are. If you have not been our customer before, we will ask you to give us proof of identity.
What kind of documents may be used as customer identity?
Suitable documents could be proof of previous address, the address you are leaving, a rent book, your last electricity, gas, or water bill, credit card, season ticket, and bus pass, etc.
I see. Can I spread the cost of my bills?
Yes. Probably the best way is to spread the cost of the electricity you use over 12 months. There are several ways you can do this.
Can I pay the bills quarterly?
Of course, but we do not recommend this as the best way to pay. We all know that 3 months' bills may arrive at an inconvenient time.
What if I've got problems?
Whatever your problems, we can help. Speak to us if you are worried about your bills, and we can offer you some advice.
Do I have to pay a security deposit?
We hope not. In some cases, you may be asked for one if you cannot provide customer identity. But we hope that we can get around this by an alternative method. Our staff will be pleased to advise you.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Listening activity number 11. Youth hostels. You will hear two friends talking about a holiday trip they plan to make. Listen to the recording, complete the statements, and then answer the questions.
Hello, Tom.
And complete the statements, and then indicate whether the statements are true or false.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'm going to move into a house nearby. I came to ask about the electricity supply.
Oh.
Listening activity number 11. Youth hostels. You will hear two friends talking about a holiday trip they plan to make. Listen to the recording, complete the statements, and then answer the questions.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad today. Thank you, Lisa. How did you do in the exams?
I'm not sure. I haven't got all my results yet, but I'm so glad we're coming to the end of this semester. I really need a break. I'm going cycling to the Scottish countryside with some friends. What are you going to do over the semester break, Tom?
I haven't got any plans yet. I don't really have enough money to fly home. I suppose I could get a part-time job and earn some money, but I don't really want to.
I thought about doing some summer courses, but I decided that's not a good idea. I need a break or I'll get very tired. So I plan to take a cycling trip.
Yes, you're right. I should do something completely different.
Right. Why don't you join me and my friends on the cycling trip to Scotland?
Well, that's a good idea. Would your friends mind?
No, of course not. They'd be happy to have you along. You know Kathy and Steve. They're going with me.
Oh, that would be great. I like cycling. So what equipment do we need to bring with us if we are going?
You just bring your bicycle and a warm sweater or jacket for the evenings. We've organized everything already. We've booked youth hostels and we can have meals and beds there, so we don't need to carry too much.
Sounds good. What are the youth hostels? I haven't heard much about them in my country. Are they very expensive?
No, they are very cheap places, especially for students who are traveling.
Please tell me more about them.
Hostels are provided to enable people to explore the countryside. They are generally for students and active countrygoers, so they are often located in more rural areas or inner city areas. They have become centers for backpackers, young people traveling abroad for a long period with little luggage.
I see. What do hostels provide?
They provide just what you need at the end of an active day: dormitories, a common room, and a kitchen where you can cook your food. Most hostels have cheap restaurants or cafes attached, and some even have bars for young backpackers.
They seem very convenient.
Yes, they are. In hostels, the old hands help the newcomer. and everyone helps with simple domestic chores. One of the reasons why charges are so low is many of the hostel buildings are very basic. They range from a shepherd's hut to a Norman castle. Some were built simply as hostels. In size, they range from a dozen beds to over 200. Another reason is that one dorm usually has 4 to 6 beds, and a person pays for a bed, not a room. You know, there are 150 hostels in Scotland and Ireland.
So hostels are very popular in the UK.
Yes, but not only in the UK, also in many other countries. There are nearly 3,000 on the continent of Europe, and several hundred more in other countries, from Iceland to Japan.
I see. By the way, how long does our cycling trip last? And how much does it cost?
It's a 1-week trip and £200 a person, including everything.
It sounds good. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this trip.
Here is the timetable for the trip.
Thank you very much.
Listening activity number 12. Accommodation in Canada. You are going to hear a conversation about accommodation in Canada. Listen to the recording and match the type of housing with the following descriptions, and then indicate whether the statements are true or false.
Hi, Maurice. Could you tell me about the accommodations in Canada? You see, I will study in Canada soon. I'd like to get some information about the houses there.
Sure. Some Canadian people live in a townhouse, which is a small house joined to other small houses. It may be bought or rented. There is an apartment building. The British call it a block of flats, which has one owner for the whole building. In the building, each apartment is owned by one person or family. If you see a room for rent, it usually means you will have your own room in a shared house or apartment. Everyone shares the kitchen and bathroom.
I see. I often see room and board in an advertisement. What does it mean?
It means the landlord or landlady will provide a room and meals.
I see. So I don't have to cook? That sounds good. Well, what is a suite?
A suite usually has one or more bedrooms. All suites have a kitchen, a bathroom, and a living room. Suites for rent may be in an apartment building or in a house.
I understand in this kind of accommodation I can cook by myself.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, what is a studio?
A studio has one room with a kitchen and bathroom.
I think just like self-contained flat in the UK.
Yes, something like that. It's the kind of accommodation that some postgraduates like. It's a self-contained apartment with its own kitchen and bathroom.
I see. Well, I often hear people talk about a duplex. What kind of house is it?
A duplex is a house divided into two separate apartments. It may be bought or rented. In Canada, you can also see some mobile homes.
What kind of house are those?
A mobile home can be moved from one place to another. It is usually cheaper to buy than a house. But you must also buy or rent the land to put a mobile home on.
I see. Where do you go to look for these houses?
Well, you can look in the classified ads in the newspaper and look for vacancy or for rent signs on houses and apartment buildings. You can look for ads on notice boards. Many places such as universities, community centers, Grocery stores and laundromats have notice boards.
When I find a place I like, when do I have to pay the rent?
You usually pay the rent on the first day of each month. The landlord can raise your rent, but he must give you notice in writing 3 months before the rent is increased.
I see. Are utilities included in the rent, or do I have to pay for them?
Utilities are electricity, gas, or oil for cooking and heating. Sometimes you have to pay for utilities. Sometimes the landlord includes them in the rent. Be sure to ask.
All right. Any deposit?
Yes, you usually have to pay some deposit, about 1 month's rent. When you move in, the landlord keeps the deposit until you move out. Some of this money may be used to pay for any damage you do. If you do no damage and clean the apartment well when you move out, the landlord must give you all the money back.
Well, that's good. It's reasonable to pay the deposit.
When you agree to rent a house or apartment, you and the landlord are making a contract. It's called a tenancy agreement. It should be a written agreement. Your tenancy agreement gives you the rules for renting your home.
I see. I have to sign a tenancy agreement with the landlord before I move in. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. And when you plan to move out of a rented house or apartment, you must tell your landlord or manager in writing. This is called giving notice. Give the notice to the landlord 1 month before you will move out. Please do this by the last day of the month before you move out.
I understand. I have to give notice to the landlord 1 month before I move out. Well, thank you very much for all this information.
You are welcome.